Hello everyone, this is Adrian Howard with Weather Rampage, and what you're looking at right now is a graphic from National Hurricane Center showing Hurricane Michael, which is a very dangerous storm right now, dangerous hurricane storm that has developed in the Gulf of Mexico and is now barreling toward the northwest Florida coastline. And this is already a major hurricane, and it continues to barrel off to the north and will veer to the north and then eventually northwest before it moves into the Carolinas and Georgia and then out to sea, and Virginia and out to sea. But I want to show you here the particulars on this. Well, but I want to before I show you that, here is the center of the storm. Here I want to show you, yes, here's the center of the storm right here, and here is the radius of hurricane force wind speeds. The radius of it, which extends out about almost 600 to 700, 800 miles from the center. And that's the tropical storm force winds. And hurricane force winds extend out about 50 to 60 miles or more from the center, or in the center of the storm. And that trend has continued with this storm. This is a very large storm as it continues to move off to the north and northwest. It continues to be a large storm, and it's going to have some great impacts along the northwest Florida coastline. So I hope you have evacuated. If you have not done so, please do so now. A hurricane warning is in effect for the area, and here's that hurricane warning. I want to show you here. The hurricane warning is in this red shaded area right here. Hurricane warning in effect for all of the northwest Florida coastline, from Mobile, Alabama, all the way over down to almost Tampa, Florida, under a hurricane warning. So Tampa, Florida is not included in the hurricane warning, but I would still treat this as a tropical storm warning, hurricane warning, whatever the case might be with this. So this is going to be a large storm with big impacts, flooding impacts, heavy rain impacts, storm surge impacts, destructive wind impacts. It's going to be a lot of things going on with this storm as it continues to strengthen. Okay, and I'm going to give you the particulars on Hurricane Michael. As of Tuesday, October 9th, 2018, Hurricane Michael, 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Intermediate Advisory 12A, National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center. Here are the particulars on it. The center of Hurricane Michael was located at latitude position 25.4 north and longitude position 86.4 west. Maximum sustained winds inside the center of Hurricane Michael were at 110 miles per hour, and its movement was north at 12 miles per hour. And this puts Hurricane Michael in the major hurricane category, as a category 2 or 3, actually I believe it's getting near to 3, category 3 storm, and it will continue to do what it is doing as it moves further to the north. And this is going to be a dangerous one, everyone. I want to show you what the IR satellite is showing of this storm. As you can see, here's those bright red cloud tops on the storm as they continue to color the storm, and are very high cloud tops. And this storm has been keeping itself together for quite some time now and continues to build, as you can see. And I want to zoom in. As I zoom into that, you can see here the eye wall of this storm continues to be in the center of this storm right here, which is where it is in all hurricanes. And I wanted to show you also, you see this feature right here? You can see the eye wall right here in this area. There's more colors there, indicating that there's higher cloud tops there, more development there on that northeastern semicircle of the hurricane. And that is where tornadoes usually occur in hurricanes. And these colder cloud tops continue here on the northwest side of this storm. So the northwest side and the northeast side of this storm are the strongest sides of this hurricane, which is unusual, which is something I'm going to have to go back and look at and study, because that is unusual for a storm to have this type of strong development on that side of the storm. Well, and then the south side, you can see the south side of the storm, not very many colors at all. So that's what I want to demonstrate and show you with this as I show you about the hurricane. That's the IR satellite, beautiful satellite imagery of the storm. And I want to show you here, this is Louisiana coastline. Up here is where New Orleans is located. And here is where the Florida coastline is located right here in this general area location. So the storm is expected to move, the eye wall, here's the eye wall, expected to move in this general path up into Florida. Actually, it's going to kind of turn here and kind of veer and go this direction into Florida and straight head on into Florida. So I hope you have already prepared for this storm, because it is going to be a monster of a storm with storm surges reaching over 12 feet or higher with this hurricane as it moves ashore in Florida. And here's the satellite imagery of the storm. As you can see here, very symmetrical storm. As you can see, the eye wall is beginning to go through what is called an eye wall replacement cycle. And that eye wall is beginning to deepen as the storm now is getting its act together. And you can see these spirals going into the storm, which means that the storm is spinning and the storm is really getting its spin from the atmosphere. And you can see spiraling all the way around this storm, and it's very symmetrical. And I wanted to show you also a central dense overcast with this storm. You can see this storm is very, very, very it's not compact, but it's dense. It's a very dense hurricane, which I would not be surprised if there are some major winds inside this eye wall, this storm, because it is so dense of a hurricane. So these winds are going to be very, very strong in this type of hurricane. So, and I'm going to zoom in here and I'm going to show you some other features with this hurricane. As you can see here, yeah, there's the center of the hurricane. And here's the eye wall right here passing over that parallel. And it continues to wobble. I'm going to show you here from this direction here to this location. And this eye wall is going to continue to move, and it's going to kind of veer off as it continues to move off in that general direction. Here's the Florida coastline on this side here of the map. Here's the Florida coastline. And you can see where those cloud tops have begun to really develop right here. Really strengthening. Some big thunderstorms tightening around in that eye wall as that eye wall is going to replace itself. And that's what I want to show you. These some very cool features you can see on a map or on a satellite imagery feature when you're looking at a hurricane. And also, one more thing I want to show you is, you see this here, this feature right here, how this starts to look like it's fanning out. It's fanning out on kind of in all directions, which means the storm is beginning to strengthen a little bit more now and beginning to breathe, because air comes out of where the eye wall is and it fans outward. And that gives the storm breathing room. It fans outward. Air goes in. It goes in like a suction, and it fans outward, which gives the storm the eye wall the ability to tighten. And once that eye wall tightens, the storm gets more and more tight and more intense in that eye wall. And then the whole storm itself begins to get bigger, hurricane storm itself. So it becomes a huge generating wind and rain machine over an ocean. And the warmer the ocean waters are, the more powerful the storm gets. So I just wanted to show you that. And I'm going to go to the next feature here with the storm, as this is a power monster storm, folks. And here I want to show you here. I want to show you something here. As you can see here, here's the hurricane. And let's see if I can show a better shot of this storm here. Let's see. Can I show a better shot of this? Okay. I'm going to have to show you like it is. Okay, here's the hurricane right here. And this is a bigger view of the storm. Here's the Hurricane Michael. And I want you to know something. This is a feature here. There's a cold front feature here. Boundary feature there. Now, this storm is going to be dragged by this feature. This feature has wind shear with it, and winds coming out of the southwest, which is going to propel the hurricane kind of in this direction. So this storm system is going to combine with Michael to produce a flooding potential in the southeast. So I just kind of wanted to show you that. And here's another view of the storm. Another view, good satellite view of the storm as it continues to spiral on off to the northeast. And this storm is a very, very, very symmetrical storm. It continues to barrel off to the northeast and is already a powerful hurricane as it continues to move off to the northwest, and will be moving due north in the next few hours or so, and then off to the northeast into the Florida coastline, barreling into the Florida coastline. So, folks, this is a dangerous hurricane. You do not want to be messing around with this storm, as it will have. Here's one more satellite feature I want to show you here. Look at this. Just look at this. This is some incredible satellite imagery of the hurricane. You can see where that eye wall is just very, 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 you can see pronounced there. Very pronounced eye wall right here, where the storm is right in this general location here. Eye wall, very pronounced eye wall in this location here of the storm. Just kind of want to show you that. And this is the true color satellite imagery, and you can see those spirals and the fanning out of the hurricane, which is what I was trying to show you as I zoomed in and out. And you can see here bands going into the hurricane, and then you can see the fanning out of the storm where the storm is beginning to breathe. And so that's what I wanted to show you of the storm. And yeah, but that's what I want to show you of the storm. And let's see if I can get past this image here. Okay, here's the next image I want to show you. This shows where the hurricane is expected to come into Florida with the time frames of the hurricane. Hurricane here, as you can see here, by the time we get to, here's the center of the hurricane right now from National Hurricane Center. 7 p.m. Tuesday, here's where it's expected to be. And then here's 7 a.m. Wednesday is where it's expected to be. Notice that there are M's there, which means that it is expected to be a major hurricane all the way through to Wednesday. And notice here it comes ashore here somewhere between Mobile, Alabama and Tallahassee and Tampa, Florida. And here is a hurricane here 7 p.m. Wednesday. And it looks like that is along I-10, looks like. I-10. I can't see that very well, but this is what I want to show you about the storm as it moves in. Here's the projected path of the hurricane. And hurricane warnings here in effect for this storm. Hurricane warnings in effect for all these areas: Defuniak Springs, Dothan, Alabama, Albany, Monterey, Tallahassee, Panama City, Apalachicola. All these areas, these areas are under storm surge warning and hurricane warning for this storm. So, dangerous storm indeed. And here's the wind field of the storm. As I showed you before, the wind fields, how they extend outward. Flooding potential, as you can see here, flooding potential, 6 to 10 inches of rainfall in this area. 6 to 10 inches of rainfall as it moves into the Carolinas, and that could present a flood threat there also as well. And I want to show you also here storm surge warning. As you can see here, storm surge watches, they extend from here around Pensacola storm surge watches in Tampa Bay and St. Peterson, Florida. So Pensacola, Florida and St. Peterson, Florida under storm surge watches. Storm surge warnings here in the pink area, all the way down from that area in Florida, just below Tallahassee, and the whole coastline. There's storm surge warnings for storm surges of 12 to 20 feet or more of storm surge. So this is a very power-packed storm as it comes inland, and as you can see here, the probability of destructive winds from this hurricane are at 100%. And as you move into Georgia and South Carolina, the potential lessens here. So 100% in this purple area in South Carolina and North Carolina as a tropical storm force winds, more so there as well, and hurricane force winds in Florida. So that's what I wanted to kind of show you. And this is your hurricane update. I'm going to be keeping you updated on Michael, as this is a power-packed hurricane, power-packed storm. And I will keep you updated as the day wears on and as tomorrow wears on. Take care, everyone. This is your Hurricane Alert Mode.